Welcome back to the channel and thanks for watching. Today's video is going to be a general overview for installing our Datsunworks GRW CD009 6-speed conversion kit for your Datsun S30 or S130 platform. First things first, we need to verify that everything in your shipping crate arrives safely and undamaged. You'll need a T25 Torx bit to remove the construction screws holding the transmission and other components in the shipping crate. If there are any issues at all, please contact us immediately, as the more time that passes once you receive the shipment, the harder it is to file an insurance claim for any shipping damage. Once you've verified everything in the shipment arrived safely and everything is accounted for, you can begin by removing the old transmission from the vehicle. This transmission, like our TL70 swap, does not feature a mechanical speedometer drive, so you'll have to switch to some sort of GPS speedometer. We carry SpeedHut on our website for anyone looking to convert at this time. This does mean you can remove your speedometer cable during disassembly or secure it out of the way. Once you've removed the transmission, if you're retaining your existing clutch and flywheel setup, our CD009 kits are engineered for using all of the factory clutch components. So unlike our TL70, there is no mandatory need for swapping the clutch and flywheel. If you're upgrading your clutch and flywheel, now is the time to take care of that portion of your swap. Please note, anyone converting an automatic to manual transmission, you will need to remove this torque converter pilot adapter from the back of the crankshaft before you install the pilot bushing, as well as the manual transmission flywheel. One thing to note about noises with the CD009 transmission. The 350 and 370Zs come with a dual mass flywheel that acts as a noise damper to cut down on drivetrain clatter. Since the L-Series flywheel is a single mass, these gearboxes can be notoriously noisy at idle and taking off from a stopped position. This condition is further exacerbated by the Fidanza lightweight aluminum flywheel. Fortunately, we do have a fix for this, borrowed directly from the 350 and 370Z community, and that's the South Bend Clutch Quiet Disc Clutch Kit. We highly recommend this clutch kit. While expensive, if you're a stickler for unnecessary and annoying noises, this completely solves the issue. If you choose not to purchase this clutch, there is no issue in retaining any of your stock components. The noise is not indicative of a pending mechanical failure, it's really just a nuisance and up to how much your tolerance for noise is. The CD009 also comes with a complete clutch fork kit with the correct release bearing collar ready to go, so no need to disturb any of that. Just remove your existing clutch slave cylinder from your original transmission and bolt it to our CD009 Bellhousing during reassembly. One quick side note for customers who have purchased our RB flywheel kit: make sure you trim the shield around the starter mounting flange so you get the correct ring gear engagement depth. Moving right along, once you've worked out your clutch and flywheel setup, you'll note the CD009 case is significantly larger than the factory 4 or 5-speed gearbox. This means we have to cut out some sheet metal structure from the body. Fortunately, it's simply the sheet metal support structure for the factory transmission crossmember, but the entire thing needs to be cut out. We recommend using a cordless reciprocating saw with a rotating head, and finishing off the final chunks with a die grinder, cutting wheel, or 80 grit sanding disc. Take your time, as it's always easier to remove more material than to put some back. The entire structure needs to come out, leaving some untreated metal behind. We like to buy truck bed liner or undercoating that comes in a spray can and spray down the entire area to prevent any rust or other weather damage. Once you've done that, if you have an S30, you'll need to pull the seats up and the carpet up in order to gain access to the floor pans. Our kits feature the Apex engineered transmission crossmember, which does require drilling a few holes in the floor to accommodate some bolts and capture plates. Take note that Apex Engineered offers two sets of capture plates. The 240Z and 260Z have wider floor pans and are typically flat, so you need the crossmember kit that comes with two flat capture plates. If you have a 280Z, you'll need the later style, which includes one flat capture plate and one offset capture plate to accommodate a hump in the passenger side floorboard. For lining up your holes, we recommend installing the transmission to the engine and then the transmission mount and crossmember to the transmission. Slowly jack the transmission up to line up your crossmember with the frame and floor pans. Match up all of your holes and drill them. From here, grab a helper and have them install the capture plates and bolts up top. If you're working by yourself and happen to have a welder handy, we recommend tack welding the bolts to the capture plates to not only make it easier to install them by yourself, but you won't need someone to hold the top bolts with a wrench while you tighten the lower bolts. On the 280Z specifically, the fuel lines as well as a brake line run along the passenger side frame rail, so Apex Engineered supplies a couple of spacers to keep the crossmember from crushing into those lines and allows them to remain in place without contacting. This is a crucial step during install, so make sure the hard lines traveling through here do not contact and are not crushed. If you have a 280ZX, the same sheet metal structure surrounding the transmission crossmember will need to be cut out as well, just like the S30. So go ahead and remove all of that material, apply your undercoating or bed liner spray, and we can move on to the transmission crossmember. We went with a different design for the S130 chassis, as the floor pans and frame rails are vastly different compared to the S30. What we decided on was a pair of capture plates for the frame rails that give you the option for both bolt-on as well as weld-on. If your frame rails and floor pans are compromised from rust or crush damage, we highly recommend welding the capture plates in place for additional rigidity and security, but if they're in good condition, bolt-on will suffice. Start by allowing the transmission to come down a little bit in order to bolt on the transmission mount as well as the crossmember. Raise the transmission as high up as it will go, and slip in the capture plates on each side. Line them up with the crossmember, slide the crossmember bolts through temporarily to help hold everything in place. Mark your drill points for your bolt holes, and then remove the capture plates for drilling the frame rails. Once you drill the frame rails, you can follow the same assembly steps you took when lining up the drilling points. If you're not welding them in place, we recommend taking some body seam sealer and filling in all of the voids around the capture plates, and once dry, spray the area down with undercoating or bed liner to keep it weatherproof. If you are going to be welding them in place, take a pick or screwdriver and scribe a line around all of the areas where the edges of the capture plate meet the frame rails. Remove the capture plates and begin prepping the area for welding. If your capture plates came powder coated, sand the edges about a 1/4 inch of the way back from the edge so that you have a clean metal surface for welding. Remove the seats and all of the carpet in the immediate work area to ensure you don't start a fire from welding underneath. Have a fire extinguisher nearby and someone ready to use it as an extra precaution. We are not responsible if you catch your car, house, body, or anything else on fire from not taking proper safety precautions. Wipe everything down with acetone, reassemble, and tighten all of your hardware at the capture plates and the transmission crossmember. Once you've done that, you can start MIG-welding the capture plates in place. Once your weld area has completely cooled down, we recommend the same treatment of body seam sealer and undercoating or bed liner spray to give it a weatherproof seal. Once you're past the transmission crossmember install step, you can install your drive shaft, fill the transmission with the supplied Motul gear oil, and connect your reverse lamp switch pigtail. On the S30, the shifter bracket does not come into contact with the shifter opening, so there's nothing to trim there. On the S130, you will need to cut out a small chunk of the shifter opening to clear the rest of the bracket, as it will rub and make all kinds of noises while driving. You can now install the shifter rod, and I'll attach some excerpts from the GK Tech installation video for reference.
Disassemble the shifter cup itself. Take the bolts out and toss some of that good on the top and bottom cup, the rod pivot ball itself, and the shifter bushing at the bottom. Look at us go. Still, reassemble, making sure the cutout matches where the pin goes. Toss the bolts back in and get them finger tight. I know you work out, but do not over tighten these. Make sure the shifter moves freely and smoothly inside the cup as shown here. Then lube up the outside of the cup, put the spring into the base, and pop the shifter assembly into the base, making sure that the pin faces outward. Toss the plate on top, add the washers and nuts, and tighten those loosely. Reason being, we need to adjust the reverse lockout later on. It's time to adjust that top plate for the reverse lockout. Go ahead and select either 5th or 6th gear, and move the plate till it's just barely touching the side of the pin. Hold it, and tighten the nuts down. Test the reverse lockout to make sure it's aligned properly. Then torque to the specs shown below. Be careful, as the bolts may move from the bottom. If they do, grab your trusty Allen wrench and secure from underneath whilst torquing. Now install the shifter boot collar by tightening down the set screw. Toss a GK Tech gear knob on and make sure you can row through all the gears. But then, get your Fast and the Furious style shift test on by slamming them gears. Toss the trans back in the car and enjoy that hot boy fresh 6-speed. Officer Dan out skis. Peep us on the YouTube and throw your boys some subs.
Once you've installed the shifter and verified your reverse lockout is adjusted properly, you can move on to the shifter boot and trim ring. At the time of this video being posted, we are still developing a final solution for these, as we sort of shifted a lot of our development efforts to perfecting the TL70 6-speeds. But what we are working on is a laser cut aluminum trim ring that adapts to the factory bolt pattern of your shifter hole and captures the Subaru TL70 specific shifter boot in place of the original S30 boot. For the S130, we have a few more details to work out on that due to the amount of material that needs to be cut out of the transmission tunnel, but it will be a similar design with a laser cut trim ring, so check back with us if you're looking to purchase this kit. Depending on when you are watching this video, we may have already launched the solution on our website. With the CD009 being significantly larger, you're going to have to rework your exhaust in order to fit around the transmission case as well as the crossmember. If your car is not lowered, you may be able to get away with 2.5 to 3 inch round tubing for an exhaust. However, if you are lowered, and especially on coilovers, you really should consider doing oval tubing. We use vibrant oval tubing for any of our CD009 installs in-house, as this gives the same internal surface area of round tubing, but gives you much more ground clearance. We initially ran 3-inch oval tubing on the GRW Development 280ZX, and it definitely scrapes in a wide range of driving scenarios. You really only need to run oval tubing under the crossmember portion. After that, you can transition back to round, or you can build a complete oval tube exhaust. That pretty much wraps up our CD009 install video for the Datsun Z car. Thank you for watching, and if you purchased this kit from us, thank you so much for your business. We are proud to state that aside from the gearbox itself and the shifter assembly, everything else is manufactured completely in the United States, and we partner with several small businesses across the country to make that happen. So not only are we thankful for your business, so are Apex Engineered, Capital Metalworks, and Datsunworks. If you'd like to purchase this kit, you can click the link in the description below, and if you have any questions, please call the shop during business hours or email us at any time. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.